pays tribute to one of the scholars I admire most. A man who was so unassuming that you would have passed him by in an audience like this or in a conference like this without perhaps even noticing quite who he was. But someone whose person began to shine and to come forth as he spoke about the things that he cared about. Since tributes are also the time when one can say small personal things or share small personal things with an audience, I want to begin with my little story of the mark Stuart left on my personal life. Several years ago, I've met him many times and interacted in social contexts as well as academic contexts. But several years ago, he was sharing with me his difficulty in sleeping. He was an insomniac, so he would stay awake nights. And of course my ears pricked up because I too am often insomniac. I can't sleep at night, thinking about too many things. Well, Stuart said, and I hope this is of use to you because it was of tremendous use to me, Stuart said, you know, you should just lie there and rest. Don't worry about not sleeping. And you know, it works. It's just as good as actually sleeping. So good news to all of you who shared this one particular bit of history. But let me move on to my small presentation. It's really been a challenge to find something to say in 10 minutes about Stuart Hall, especially since his own input into my thinking and growth has been immeasurable. The fact that we set up a Department of Cultural Studies in the English and Foreign Languages University where I work is in no small measure because of the work that Stuart Hall and others like him had put in before us. I would have liked to discuss his quarrelsome and quite original contributions to the discussion of identity, but that would require at least an hour. Given that so many of Hall's essays and conversations are about cultural studies and its history or its emergence, I did consider doing what I've been wanting to for many years, that is, to write a brief Benjaminian history of cultural studies in India, cultural studies in India, which is quite different in many ways from cultural studies in other parts of the world. And as you know today, there are so many different kinds of cultural studies and practices of cultural studies, in no small measure because of the openness with which Hall and others like him treated the field. But I decided finally that that would also be too much to do, and that what I would do was focus on his writing, tease out the structural reasons for its accessibility. What is the immediacy that it has? Why do we enter it so easily? And its significance as an exemplary mode in a contemporary Indian context or classroom. Let me begin by saying that what I like most about Stuart Hall writing, and I think I speak here also for the young people in my classrooms that have read his work in their courses. Stuart Hall is not a French theorist. It's not that I have no use for French theory. Like many of you, I've cut my teeth, my intellectual teeth, on the great French theorists, and I consider myself really fortunate to have been a contemporary of some of the great thinkers of the last century. I mean, there are moments in intellectual life that are very special, and I think the last 3 decades of the last century were moments like that, not least because of these French theorists. But Paul was not a French theorist. something that sets Hall's writing apart from the other great philosophers of our time, those who have discussed the big questions of power, knowledge, speech, writing, and so on. And what is more, that something is of particular value for us here in India at this moment in our history. Hall's distinction, I would say, lies in the fact that he is able, and it's an ability so original and significant that he clearly worked hard at developing it. He's able to present his ideas as grounded in a history, a geography, and a complexly constituted social formation. Hall doesn't speak to the world from a nowhere position. We know where he's coming from. In other words, the issues that he takes up and the analyses that he offers come across as inextricable from the conjuncture which gives rise to them. It's a new kind of knowledge that he works with. What he shares with the reader, therefore, is not just the analysis, not just his analysis, but the conjuncture in its entirety. That's not all. Hall is always present there in his writing, in a full-bodied, as against merely formal way. He's there in the first person, the I, the I who doesn't sleep at night, for instance. A subject making sense of the world and talking with both allies and interlocutors as he does so. Reminiscence and autobiography find a place, but significantly restored as history. This is a subject in the making, not a subject formed, subject there already, a subject in the making, and one in active dialogue with the reader. Such writing offers descriptions, analyses, theoretical formulations, but always also drawing attention to the author as engaged in debate and as involved in making something new. This is not an author who is laying out or explaining his ideas. It is one whose subjectivity is itself in the making. As a practice, such writing which insists on taking into account contexts and subjects, is exemplary for the groups newly coming into the public sphere in India and making claim on national life. If the students in my classes felt an affinity with Hall's work, it is largely because his style encourages them, by example, to bring their own worlds, their own contemporary experiences into the discussion as the setting for an argument or theoretical reflection. It endorses their own lives and their own moments. His writing provides a model for how experience can form the basis for rigorous analysis and for conceptualization. It endorses the idea of a specific location and a point of view from which theory emerges, which is, again, quite distinct from the French theorists. Not many of us know much about Derrida's personal life, for instance. I could ask around, maybe 5 sentences will come out of this one. In a now well-known summing up of the work of the Birmingham Center, Hall himself points to this aspect of cultural studies, which he implicitly contrasts the Birmingham model of cultural studies, as it were, with what happens in the disciplinary format of cultural studies as it has emerged in other parts of the world. Hall writes, "There is no doubt in my mind that in Birmingham, we were trying to find an institutional practice in cultural studies that might produce organic intellectuals. We did not know previously what that would mean in the context of Britain in the 1970s, and we were not sure we would recognize him or her if we managed to produce this organic intellect."